2, 1!
The Great Christmas Light Fight is on!
One, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2, 20, 40, 60, 80. Not even enough to pay my bill. Oh, hi, I forgot you were coming to the library today. I invited you twice in less than a week. And you might be wondering what I'm doing with a lot of cash. You might think I'm collecting fees for a book that was returned late to the library. I wish. And I bet the librarian's wife wishes too. But I'm just settling up bills for plastic blow molds from the Jones auction house. It's all gone. I mean, the wallet is empty. The wallet is empty. But I got blow molds, and I'm so happy to have blow molds. And so were many people that were at the Jones auction house this weekend in Pocono, Pennsylvania area to buy what? Blow molds, and lots of them. I'm talking thousands of blow molds were there for the taking. Well, not quite the taking. You had to pay up with cold hard cash. And yeah, they really did take my cash. So they took a lot of other people's cash, and I'm going to get into that today. But hey, thank you everybody for joining me, the Librarian, your resource for everything related to the Great Christmas Light Fight and more, everything related to Christmas in general. And I've got a really, really exciting episode today. One that I put together pretty quickly. And the reason I put it together quickly is kind of jumping ahead a bit. I think I shared last week. There's a lot of things going on. So this upcoming weekend, I'm driving 6 hours to Ohio, and I'm going to the Ohio Mini, where all the Ohio lighting enthusiasts are joining together to talk about all things Christmas. And registration closed for that the other day. And last I heard, they were over 125 people. I don't know the final count, but 125 people, plus the vendors and all the presenters. It's going to be a fantastic event. And you can bet your dollar bottom, if you have any left, that I'm going to be there. I'm going to be having fun. And I hope you signed up to join as well. If you did, put it in the comments. And let's find out who's going to the Ohio Mini with me. That being said, I do want to get some comments. So I'm going to check in here shortly in a few minutes just to see who's joined us. I know it's a Monday evening, and it's kind of last minute. I gave you a little bit of notice over the weekend, but I am so excited to talk about glorious, glorious plastic blow mold Christmas and Halloween and Easter and Valentine's. You name the holiday. It was at the Jones auction house up in Pocono, Pennsylvania this weekend. And not only were there thousands of blow molds, there were hundreds of people there going after them or just enjoying watching the auction, which this was my first time going. It was super exciting. I had a great time. And you might say, Brian, you live in Pennsylvania. How come you've never been before? Well, it's about a 2-hour drive, which isn't bad. It's pretty much up the turnpike, up into the beautiful Pocono mountainsides. The problem is they do this auction twice a year, July and November. And in July, it just so happened every past couple of years, we're on vacation. So I think I'm going to pick vacation over blow molds, believe it or not. So that's the first reason. And then the November one, well, that's peak season to start putting up a big giant display. And my display takes 6+ weeks to put up. So giving up precious time to go up to Jones Auction House is even not on my checklist unless it rains. But I don't recall it raining. So that's why I was not there before. But I think I'm going in the future again. And just for the fun and the camaraderie, because I'm going to tell you about all the people I met there that belong to not only the alumni of the Great Christmas Light Fight, there were a few of us there, but also belong to alumni of many of the groups that I'm in that focus on blow molds, like Blow Mold Nation, Blow Mold United, Southeastern Blow Mold Collectors, there's several more of them out there. So they were there, got to meet some people in person, and that's a reason to go to these events if you have them in your area, whether it's a mini, a get together, an auction. It's a fun time, and it's fun bidding on the things at the auction, but it was fun hanging out and talking to people and just seeing the reactions. Some of these people really went after some of the more prized blow molds. And you know, you think about prized blow molds, the one you think is prized may not be the one that goes for the most money, because everybody has their own taste. And I think you'll be surprised when I show you a video later of some unique blow molds that went for some pretty big bucks. And I have some fun stories about that. So the Librarian is now officially in. Still love my sign. Thank you, Kimberly Michael. Let's put it up here. I won't knock it down this time like I did last time. You can see I'm still celebrating Christmas in July, and I hope you are. Still have my mini at sea wreath up here, and of course the American flag. And I'm so excited. So let's check the comments and see who's joined us live and see what they want to know about blow mold. So, you know, I'd like to know, what's your favorite blow mold? Have you ever been to the auction? Do you think you'll ever buy a blow mold? Have you ever restored a blow mold? Anything about blow molds, let's ask it. So, or anything Christmas, let's ask it. All right, let's check in on the comments, see who's joined. And hopefully there's some people here in the library, because I'm kind of slow right now. It's late, and I'm not collecting late fees like we found out when we started. So let's go to the comments and see who we got here. All right. Got my buddies Robert and Lori Slanker joining. And what's left from the cruise? Oh, there's lots of stuff left from the cruise. Make sure you go check out my Mini at Sea episode on my YouTube channel, and you can see what you missed on the Mini at Sea cruise. And we hope the Slankards can really think about joining one next year. So think about it. Aaron Grimes is joining again. Thank you for being a regular, Aaron. I'm really glad to have him aboard. One day we will meet. And really, really excited to have you at one of these new Christmas in July episodes about my favorite thing, blow molds. Monty Small. Oh, Monty, I can't wait. We have not met in person. We've been, you know, introduced between Charlie Byer's Christmas on Crestline YouTube channel. Check that out if you haven't seen it before. Just search YouTube for Christmas on Crestline. I'm looking forward to meeting Monty. He's a regular on there, and then he's now supporting this channel as well as a few others. So, Monty, welcome, welcome. We got Slankers chiming again. Do they have blow mold cows and pigs? For those of you that don't know what he's talking about, go watch my video on my YouTube channel, the recap of the 2025 Florida Mega Mini that happened earlier this spring. A bunch of us were there. It was the largest regathering of past Christmas light fighters ever, and Judge Tanya Nayak was there. But Robert drove all the way from Oklahoma to Plant City, Florida, and he brought goodies. He brought some blow molds. And not only did he bring blow molds, he brought a cow blow mold and a pig blow mold, and he gifted it to Patrick Mock from season 12 last year. And Patrick went out and bought an extra gym bag and stuffed it in because it was cheaper to take it on the plane and buy that gym bag than to ship it. So that's what we're talking about. Who else do we have? Nick Antidormi. If you don't know Nick, Nick is in several of the Christmas groups, Blow Mold Nation. He's in a lot of the animation groups for mechanicals. He has an outstanding display. I've been to it. Nick was there, and I'm going to share some stories about Nick in this broadcast. Not only as a bidder, but as a seller, and you'll see what that means when I talk a little bit. But he did talk about a nativity, and you'll see a little screenshot of that. It's actually not a blow mold, and I'll tell you what that means as well, because the Jones Blow Mold Auction is more than just blow molds. There's municipals, there's fiberglass pieces, there's other things there. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Sam Finney, another past Great Christmas Light Fight alumni joining us. And it's kind of hot to work on Christmas when you live in Arkansas. I agree. It's probably wet too, because it's been super wet this year. But Sam, I'm glad you joined it. Sam is not only an alumni of the Great Christmas Light Fight, he is a winner of the coveted light bulb trophy. And he also had the same judge as me, Judge Tanya Nayak, the fabulous Tanya Nayak. Thanks for joining, Sam. I hope you can check out some of the other videos or join some more or leave more comments. Monty's chiming in again. It's his first year using blow molds in display. Wise decision, wise decision. And even better, you got him at 75% off, which is kind of rare these days. Now that they've returned with a lot of the Chinese manufacturers, they don't sit on the shelves long. Various reasons. You might even see that in some of the auction videos. Some people might argue they're being hoarded up and being resold, and that's probably partially true. Probably it's absolutely true. And there probably was some examples of that, the Blowmold auction. But I'll leave you to decide. The good thing is they were there for the taking, and you didn't have to spend big bucks on every blow mold. There were some things that went for $5 and some things that went for over $1,000. So that's what's cool. All right. I think I have enough comments for right now. Let me just double check one more time. And then, yeah, we got a good amount of comments there. So let's save the rest of the comments for after we get into our next section, which is I got to get to the Jones auction house. You know, I'm getting used to getting out of the library. You know, I went to Earl, the Eastern Region Lighting Enthusiast Mini several weeks ago. I went to the Mini at Sea. Now I went to the Jones auction house. Next week I'm going to Ohio. I got to find somebody to cover the library. So maybe I'll look for an assistant. But I got to get to the Jones auction house. And, you know, here's why, because there's a lot of blow molds to check out here, folks. And like I said before, it's about a 2-hour drive for me. And what do you think I did on the drive? That's right. It's Christmas in July. I listened to Christmas music. Who wouldn't do that? It was relaxing. I left early in the morning. I left at like 6 a.m. Was up there before 9. The auction didn't start till 10, so I got a chance to browse around, which is another cool thing about the auction is you can go there and look. You don't have to buy anything. You can just go see what it's about. But got there early, and you know, before I show this video, what I want to talk about is I didn't know what to do or what to expect. So here are some tips from a first timer, and I'm by no means an expert. But when I got there, I'm walking around checking out the tent, the inside area that they set up for bidding, because it was a little misty and raining, and they, instead of setting everything outside like they've heard they normally do, they kind of staged a big outside tent so you could preview stuff, and they had a bunch of stuff inside, and they held the auction inside. But the space was big, but not big enough for all the attendees. Some people were standing outside the garage doors and holding up their bidder numbers. So, but when you get there, after browsing around, if you want to do that first, there's a door you go in. And I happened to ask the guys at the hot dog cart. They were getting ready for all the people arriving that don't have hungry bellies, because it's out in the middle of nowhere almost. You go in, and they say, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here for the auction." And then a nice lady, and there was a nice gentleman there. I don't know their names. They said, "Well, let's check you in." I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I just got to get my tag." Well, if you're not, have you never ever been to an auction? You got to check in and get registered. So you're going to go into your person there, and it's at a desk. It's inside their office. It's right there on site. They're going to ask you for your driver's license or some kind of ID. And why? Well, they're going to log you in because you're going to be giving a verbal commitment, like a purchase order, if you will, so that when you buy and take that bid, you're kind of committed to it. So they take your number, and then you're expected to pay up before you take it off site. The process is easy. It took about 5 minutes. I got a bidder number. I was number 407. You'll see it. I meant to save it. I threw it away. It's just a card that they wrote on with a marker. But yeah, you check in. They just want your name, address, phone number. They don't ask for any kind of payment information there. After you make your wins, you can go in between and pay, or you can pay all at the end and you get an invoice and all that good stuff to make it official. So that's what's happened there. Then after you do that, if it's getting close to auction time, you go find a seat. And the way their pole barn building was set up, big steel garage, if you will, was it had all this stadium style benching like you would see at a gymnasium. And then they had a bunch of chairs set up in the front, and you could bring your own chairs. That's another tip. A lot of people brought their own chairs because you were sitting potentially for hours. So that's a tip. Bring your own chair. Just find a place to sit it. Got a little warm in there. The one thing I will say, it was kind of nice that it was overcast and a little bit misty. And then it cleared up, by the way, for most of the auction. But I couldn't imagine if it was 95, 100 degrees and humid like it's been almost most of the summer here and wet. It'd be hot in there. But they had big fans going. You could walk around and see your things. I started chatting to people. And who did I run into? Well, let me talk about them before we get to the video. So I got to meet plenty of great people. So first, from the light fight side, because I'm a channel focused on the Great Christmas Light Fight, there was not only me there from season 11, I met 2 people from season 5. The first one was Matthew Harhut. And if you don't know Matthew Harhut, him and his brother were on season 5 of the Great Christmas Light Fight. And not only were they on season 5, they were on the special Neighbors episode because him and his brother live next to each other in Peckville, Pennsylvania. And they decorate both of their houses with almost 4,000 blow molds. You heard that right. Almost 4,000 blow molds. And Matthew was there bidding up a storm, buying a lot of pieces, and loading up his vehicle. So it was great to see Matthew. I've actually saw Matthew before. I went and saw his display last year. A video is on my channel. You can check it out. I'm going to show my channel a bit later just so you can see some of the videos. Then from Light Fight again, I ran into the Brandon Gress from Union Beach, New Jersey, which I also went and visited last year. And he was on season 5. He had Carter as a judge, whereas Matthew had Tanya. And Brandon, I don't know your blow mold count. You never really shared it, but I'm going to guess based on your buying habits, which you post publicly about, he's ready to go hoard up some shopping carts. He probably has over 1,500 if I had to guess, but I don't know, maybe I'm off. And then, I've shared my collection. I have over 1,000 between all the holidays, mostly in Christmas, but I do have over 1,000. And so I felt comfortable being there at the auction. Now, from the non-Light Fight side, I ran into a lot of regulars that I talked about. So if any of you recall me talking about the Planet Christmas chat rooms, forums that were belonged before Facebook, starting in 2001, it's when I really got into the heavy into the Christmas. I ran into an alumni there, Bill Weiss. Bill Weiss is very, very knowledgeable in the Christmas community. And he's also on the committee for Glow, which comes up this August in Chicago, where I believe several thousand people will be attending. I might look to see if we can make that last minute, but I've never been to Glow. You have to be a member. But they have their big conference in Chicago. But Bill was there, and Bill's been to my house before. So, let me share a picture. Let me see if I could do this. Oh, before I share the picture, Bill also had accompanied with him Gene Pyle, who is also a longtime alumni from the Planet Christmas days. And, they've both been to my house. Great people. They know a lot about blow molds, a lot of history, and have great collections. So there's Bill and there's Gene when they came and visited our house. I guess it was last year. Bill travels a lot around town, and he picks up Gene and a few others. And he also hangs out with Tyler Scally, who runs the Blow Mold Nation webpage as a moderator. So, yeah, it was cool to see them. Really cool to see them. And who else did I see? Oh, Cole Kutch. You might know Cole. Cole's a younger guy, like a lot of people that are getting into the hobby, who collects blow molds and other antique decorations. I was also to his display last year. He lives up in the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. So it was great seeing Cole. And then finally, I got to see Nick Antidormi again. So I mentioned his name before, but if you don't know Nick, he has a fantastic collection of everything from vintage mechanicals, vintage indoor and outdoor decorations, huge blow mold collection. And it was cool to see a lot of these people there. And then I did also meet some other people, and I don't remember their names. Unfortunately, you don't wear name tags. But a lot of them do know a lot of these people, and they've been on a lot of the forums, and it was just cool to hang them out. Oh, Ted Gutowski. I forgot to mention Ted. Ted lives here locally in Trevose, PA. I bought a sled off of him. We actually traded. I traded him a snowman. He's been up to my place. And Ted was up there, and I heard he came home with some prizes. So it was good to see you, Ted. All right. I talked enough. Let's get to the auction house and see what it's all about, because I'm telling you right now, it's a 2025 plastic odyssey, and you'll see what I mean here. Watch this minute and a half video and enjoy. Be back in a second. What do you think? Does it look like something you wish you were at? I bet it does, because that was just a sampling of the blow molds there. And I did bring my brother-in-law's drone, so I have a little bit of drone footage. It wasn't much to get because it was mostly inside and outside, but a couple cool drone clips there. That's fun to do. I'm hoping to buy my own drone. The only mistake I made with the drone is after I filmed everything and left and went home, I found that I had it on Instagram mode. And if you learn on Light Fight, I've said this before, if you applied for Light Fight, you got to film horizontal. People, when you're out going to these events, don't film it this way. Please, please, please. Film it this way. Film it this way. That way it fits on a TV or a YouTube channel. When you do this, you got black bars on the side and you got to crop things. So Brandon shared some video, Brandon Gress, of his bidding. And it was filmed. His mom actually filmed it. Thanks, Lori. And thanks, Brandon, for sharing it. I'll show it later this way. But I had to crop it down and it just takes away from things. So please film this way. That's a Light Fight tip. But you saw all the blow molds there. I just can't do justice. There's everything from new blow molds to old blow molds and everything in between. There's also municipals there, pole decorations, life-size nativity sets, all kinds of cool stuff. And it's all for the taking. It's all for the bidding. They try to get through this auction. They start at 10, and I think they go to 5, 6, 7 at night. They eventually cut it off, but there's usually things left, and whatever's left from the summer auction, they save it for the start of the November auction. So, and they try to mix it up. I'll talk about the bidding in a little bit, but they don't just bring out all the less desirable pieces, if you will, first, and then make you sit there. They mix in the big stuff with the little stuff. They do some other neat things where they'll bring up multiple items and they'll start the bidding and say the bid ends at $100 and it's choice. It could be 3 different blow molds, and for $100 you can pick one, and then they say, do you want the others for $100 each? So that's another way they help get through the several thousand molds. You got to go. You got to check it out. Come with the librarian. Come hang out with me. Maybe I'll interview you. But I waited too long. I first had a seat, and then I was like, well, I got to go film more stuff. And I came back. I was standing room only afterwards, which I was okay with because I'm kind of fidgety. I don't stay in one spot a long time. But I did do that. And let's check some comments. Do you have comments? Please put in the comments. Also, if you're not following me on Facebook, look for me on Facebook. If you're not following me on YouTube, go to Light Fight Librarian. I'll show you the page in a minute. Search Brian Michael, Light Fight Librarian. I'll come up. Like, subscribe, set your notifications so you know when I'm coming on. I usually try to post a heads up, like a commercial that I'll be coming live. And then the day before or so, I'll put, hey, I'm coming on. So as you notice on my channel, I do mostly a lot of prepared content. It takes time in between. So that's why I'm not on live consistently. I'm going to work to that. We're going to get to more interview stuff with a lot of people, maybe some people on this channel that are joining. But yeah, let's check some comments. All right. Comments. Who do we got? Nick. He lives 25 minutes from Matt in the Jones auction house. So they had the advantage of filling up the vehicles, leaving for a half hour and coming back, or having somebody to drive. So that's nice. But it was also nice when I did visit the displays up the way. I was able to go up for a night and hit 4 displays in a couple hours. So Chad's Christmas lights. He's late, but he wanted to jump in and say, see the lives that I'm doing. Oh, I should wear my glasses. Kim keeps telling me. Also, I'm still going to get one of those Stream Deck so I can hit buttons here and you can't even tell I'm doing stuff. Hey, first time catching one, go watch the other episodes on the channel, but you can start this one over or just stay on until it's back and then watch it again over and over like I do Light Fight episodes. Thanks for coming in, Chad. By the way, I heard Charlie's going to potentially be back soon. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Chad did have another comment. He wishes they had something like this where he lives. They might. There's a lot of auction house all over. It might not be as big as this one, but they might be selling Christmas decorations. Check your local sites, find those auctions, and good luck. Good luck. Monty had another question. Do they auction in lots? Would take forever. Not. No, they really, like I said, there's a unique way they do it. It's not long in between when they do the actual bidding. You'll see samples of that shortly. But like I told you, they'll do a bid where they'll get it, say $100, and then you pick choice, and they'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 items. So it goes quick. And again, whatever's left, they save it for the next auction. But they get through a lot of it. Let's see. Is there anything else here? Did I miss anybody? I think we're good right there on. There might be one more from Chad. Oh, yeah. thanks for watching them, Chad. Thanks for watching them. Hope to bring many more, many more. All right. I guess you want to see what kind of blow molds were there, right? I mentioned them. You saw a brief amount of them in the video. Remind me, I'm looking at my cue cards here. Yeah, do take time to plan. The librarian plans each episode. Just notes. And only I could read my sloppy writing. Only me. But I want to move to blow mold bliss. I call it blow mold bliss. You know, everybody just loves their blow molds. They make you blissful, happy. And why wouldn't something like this that lights up, makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, and rekindles memory of when you were a child or your family? It's blow mold bliss. It's blow mold bliss. But let's talk about the inventory. There was well over 1,000 pieces there, maybe more. And again, they were a combination of blow molds, municipals, some fiberglass figures, some other figures. And this varies at every auction. Sometimes they'll have more than other of type of decoration. Sometimes they'll have a miscellaneous, just say a mechanical or something is what I understand. So the inventory's there. But here's two unique things that are worth noting. So, you know, with all this fun does come some, I'll call it sad news. Most of the inventory for this auction came from a fellow collector. And the good news is, no, they didn't pass away, but that does happen. It's somebody who just happened to do a huge display, got injured, tried to continue the tradition for his community, and just realized, I can't do it anymore. And realized he was never going to be able to do it anymore. He had nobody to take it over, is my understanding. So if you've been around for a while, you might have heard of a gentleman named Rob Sheeter. And he used to post under the name Christmas Acres. And he had a big, I'll call it a farm property. And he would set up this giant walkthrough display. Have you ever seen the movie Deck the Halls with Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito? When they combine all their blow molds at the end and make that trail, that's how his display was. And he did this for his community out in the rural part of Iowa for a long time. He got injured, couldn't do it anymore. And I met somebody there, a guy named Jeff Weber, who we're now friends with Facebook on, who told me the story. And he went through the same thing. He had a big display in Nebraska, and his mom passed away, and they used to do it. And he had one of the biggest displays in Nebraska, and he did the same thing. And what did they do when they made this tough decision? Is they heard about the Jones Auction House, and the Jones Auction House takes inventory, consigns it. They have a big audience of buyers. They get you a good premium almost all the time. And then they take a commission and their fees, and then they pay you out. But the good thing is somebody like Jeff Weber, who was friends with Rob, picked up all the inventory, brought it from Iowa to Pennsylvania, and helped catalog it and helped run the auction. Actually, he was running the pieces back and forth. And we had a great story. He told me about the story. He told me about his display. But that's where it comes from. The other place it comes from is any of the attendees. You can also consign product, and just understand you're going to pay a commission. But Nick had a few custom pieces, and I'll talk about those shortly, that he donated to the auction. And I think he made out pretty darn well. I also talked to Ted Gutowski, and he brought up some pieces that he was, I guess, trying to sell on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. And he put them into the auction. So you can bring inventory. If you have stuff you want to get rid of, you can bring pieces, submit it, and maybe you'll leave with cash instead of leaving all your cash with Jones. Or maybe you'll break even at the end, which is what some people did. So with no further ado, I want to show the next video. And again, please add comments. We got time in between comments here. And I want to hear what you're thinking. What piece would you have bid on? What piece do you wish you had? How much money do you think you would spend? How much money would you not spend? Would you get in trouble from your spouse for spending that money? I want to hear this stuff. This is fun. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. But with no further ado, we are going to play Blow Mold Bliss. I hope it makes you happy. And for what it's worth, it's less than 3 minutes. So we're not going to be long. Hopefully we don't have any streaming issues like we did on last week's episode, which, by the way, I did remaster as much as I could of the Mini at Sea episode. There is an updated link that says remastered. You can watch the original or the other one. I didn't realize I was having bogging issues, not only with the video streaming, but even when I was talking, which was very, very unfortunate because it was a very cool episode. I fixed most of it. All the videos in between are fixed. My talking part still has some jittery stuff, but I fixed a lot of that. So it's just more enjoyable to watch, and I hope you check it out. But all right, Blow Mold Bliss. Enjoy. Be happy. You caught me on the Coldplay kiss cam. Come on, I'm pop culture. Got to get that in. Sorry, Santa. I love you and your red lips, but Kimberly Michael's better. What did you think of that inventory? You got a quick zoom through. If you go, you can take your time and stroll. Stroll. Take your time. Preview what you want to bid on. Take a notebook. Write down what you think you want to follow. Again, they randomly pull this inventory out. But again, most of that collection came from Christmas Acres, not all of it. A lot of great pieces. And I will admit, because I want to be transparent here, some pieces are, you want to get there to preview because some pieces are in better condition than others. And there are some that are rough and will need work. And there's some that are perfect, like brand new. Some are new. You saw a lot of the Cracker Barrel molds in there, the new Walmart molds, the new Lowe's molds. They're in there. You just got to check what you're getting because there could be nothing worse, I would think, than not previewing it, seeing what that mold looks like, because you can pick everything up, inspect it before they bid. But I would hate to spend $300, $400, $500 on a mold without even seeing it. And then you get it and there's a hole in it or whatever, which, by the way, the auctioneer does do a pretty good job of when they pick a mold up, they kind of inspect. They have a bunch of helpers. You'll see this in the bidding video I'm going to show, bringing things in. It's very organized, by the way. They just have pieces coming in left, right, auction them off. And if there's damage, he points it out and is very transparent as best as they can be. But they can't catch everything. I mean, there's 1,000 blow molds there, and they don't know the condition of every piece. But just understand, not everything's perfect, and some of it shouldn't be. There's nothing better than a vintage blow mold that's faded, but still looks great when it has a bulb lighting it up from inside at night in that dark display area, for up in the Poconos where it's dark all over. Just know what you're getting into. But great inventory. Me personally, I have to be honest with you. There were some great pieces there. There was nothing I needed. So I left it. Yeah, I left it. I left it for other bidders like Nick and Brandon and Ted and some of the others there. I let them go at it. Let them spend some cashola. All right. So what do you think? Any more comments? I'm not seeing any comments. Oh, I'm not boring you. Who could be bored of blow molds? Come on, people. Let's talk. We're building a relationship here. We're getting to know each other. Let me hear your comments. What do you think? What would you have bought? Was there anything in there that you're like, whoa, I never saw that one? Let me know. Because that's how I know what you want to see in the future episodes of The Librarian. Again, hit the like button on this video so that it gets recognition. Subscribe if you're not subscribing. Set the notifications. Share. This will be able to be played when we're done. As soon as we end it, you can watch it again. Share it with your friends that like blow molds or people that like Christmas decorations or people that just like hearing me talk. That's why I watch it again. Just like hearing me talk over and over and over. All right. Since I have no more comment. Oh, wait, I got one comment. I scared somebody to make a comment. Let's see what they had to say and who it was. Let's see. Who made the comment? Oh, it was my wife. And she's pretty apparent. You don't have room for more blow molds. Hey, if you watched the Light Fight episode, you remember me saying, hon, there's always room for more blow molds. And it is true, but there is a certain space restriction that we're starting to have. So I have purposely slowed down a little bit on not only blow molds, other decorations, but doesn't mean I won't buy. I know when something's super rare or it's something I've been looking for, I will make a purchase on it. Kim knows I'll do that. She supports that. But I've cut down a lot. Matter of fact, a lot of the newer blow molds in the past 18 months, I've passed on them. Not that they're not great, not that they're not getting better with the paint, even though the paint's still an issue on a lot of the new molds. You got to start thinking about space, or maybe your tastes evolve. I'm starting to like some of the mechanical stuff or building my own stuff. So yeah. Oh, Northopolis, West Losco, Ray Band again, who I told you, former Light Fight alumni. Joining again. Thank you, Ray, for joining. Yeah, you got to watch Ray's episode. He was in season 7. He was up against Jordan Mayweather, like I've said before. And Ray has a unique decorating style. I don't think you would ever find his stuff at an auction unless it was his stuff, because him and his mom hand make all these extravagant display pieces that are I'll call them scarecrows. That's not a good term for them. And I apologize, Ray, if that's what I referred to them as. I'm trying to give people a visual here. They're all handmade of all these materials, and they're tall. I mean, they're all different sizes, but they're life size. And him and his mom bring them in and out every night because they're not fully weatherproof. So that's another commitment to a display, and another cool thing that people do besides decorations. But I hope you can find a blow mold and fit it in there. You can find a blow mold that'll fit in there, right? Find one. Chuck Jones, another local, another fellow decorator. And he lives like me and never went to the auction either, it sounds like. So I should have reached out to you. We could have went together. You could have paid for the gas. Chad's going to make an attempt this year to find some blow molds, hopefully on sale. That's the best way to get them on sale. It's harder to get them on sale because, like I said, a lot of them are gone in the stores. And I used to get them at yard sales, $1, $2, $3. Very rare anymore to do that. Then I used to find them at flea markets. Same thing. It might be $3, $4, $5. Not anymore. They're all trying to sell them for big bucks. But hey, take a look at them. And I know you say a lot of the new ones don't excite you, but there's a lot of cool new ones out there. There's a Snoopy doghouse coming out from Lowe's this year, assuming it doesn't get held up with some of the tariff stuff going on. There's been a lot of delays on the Home Depot Haunters page. If you follow that, has thousands of followers, and they all collect the big skeletons and all the animatronics. They usually have a July drop of that, and it's all been delayed because of what's going on in the economy with tariffs. So hopefully, and some of the Christmas stuff is hung up in that too. There's a big sled I want to get to go with the 8-foot Santa. I hope it makes it here this year, even if it's delayed. But there's good stuff out there on the new stuff too. Ray's running out of room too. Everybody runs out of room. I mean, just can't keep building buildings. Robert and Lori Slankard agree with Kim. They think she's funny. By the way, I saw Robert and Lori are friends on Facebook, and back to my little kiss cam moment. They were in Branson, Missouri because the Christmas Expo got canceled, like I was telling you about. So Robert and Lori live in Oklahoma, so they drove up to Branson and did all the touristy stuff there and saw a comedian variety show, and they got caught on the kiss cam. And they didn't shy away. They made out. Good for you. All right. Is there anybody else here? Oh, Nick, you said it, and I'm going to share it later in the next upcoming video about the bidding process. But Nick also was an example of he spent it, but he made it back, and I'll show you how. Chuck said he would go broke. A few pieces he was looking for were there. Your wife would be happy because she knows it makes you happy, right? Right? And if you're happy, she's happy. Or it's the other way. Happy wife, happy life. You know the saying. Chuck. All right. I think we're caught up on comments. Don't mind me looking over here. Kim, Monty says you sound like his wife. I think it's a compliment. All right. Continue to leave comments. It's fun to review the comments. But, we got to the auction house. We left the library. We went to the auction house. We took that nice drive, listened to Christmas music. We previewed at the auction after checking in. We got to look at the blow mold bliss and see all the nice blow molds. But how are we going to buy them? We got to buy them. We got that cash that I was counting out that I gave to the auctioneer. We got to buy them. So the bidding process. Let's talk a little about that before we play a video. So like I told you, after you check in, you get a little card with a number on it. You become a number. Just like they say, everybody's a number. What you do, you get a number, and it could be a lucky number, or it could be the number that makes you go broke or gets you in trouble at home, depending on what you do with it. But you get your number, and that basically becomes almost like your purchase order, like I told you about. The reason they take your driver's license is because it's a verbal contract. After you win that, you're expected to go and pay. Now, that being said, and I know Nick's on here and maybe a few others, but I'm sure he never did this. I don't know what happens if you don't pay. And I honestly have never gone to another auction. My father-in-law goes to a lot. I probably should ask him, but I wonder if you don't pay, what the recourse is. Interesting question. If somebody knows, type it in the comments and we'll share it with everybody. But you get your number, and then once they start funneling the pieces out in random order, like I told you, they mix it up from less desirable pieces to more desirable, to lots of pieces, to municipals. The auctioneer starts doing his thing. 50, 50, do I get 50, 100, 50, 50, 100, 100, 150, sold, you got 20, are you in, 20, 20, 20, 20, sold, number 407. By the way, I need some practice on my auctioneering skills, but that's what he does. If you picture an auctioneer, that's what they do. And the guy's pretty good at it, but he makes it fun, and he's pretty convincing. You know, when you think you're out, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They kind of say, man, you really don't want to miss this. And you're back in. You'll see Brandon doing that, Brandon Grass. And then after you bid, sometimes they'll bring the piece right to you. Or the other cool thing they do is outside of the building where they did it this year, as lots are won, they lay them out in neat piles, and you're expected to take a break at some point right afterwards, if you can, to go out and load it in your car. And they're trusting you to then go make your payment. Again, they have your driver's license, and they know if number 407 won and you took off, they know how to find you. So don't be that guy or gal or idiot. And then you go pay and square up. I mean, that's how it works. Then you can, again, the auction's 8 hours long. You can take breaks. Maybe you'll miss a piece. You don't know. But you can go in and pay. I think you can wait till the end. But they try to get all these little staging areas cleared up. And I walked by several times, and there'd be stuff lined up. And then 10 minutes later, it's all in people's cars. By the way, the parking lot literally had, you might catch part of it in some of the drone footage. There had to be 80, 100 cars. And then there were cars parked across the street, cars parked up the road, because it's right off a busy highway and across from their other main farm market, flea market, if you will. Yeah, there was lots of stuff there. So I don't see any comments funneling in. Get your comments in before we start the next video. What I want to talk about now is showing you how they bid. So let me look at some last notes here before I play the video, make sure I didn't miss anything I want to point out. If not, I'll point it out afterwards, because sometimes the video reminds me of what I want to talk about. But I talked about the auctioneer. I talked about what you do after you won. Oh, that's not what I didn't talk about. I did a little bit before, but again, consignment. You can bring blow molds that you wish to sell, as long as you understand you're going to be paying fees, just like you would pay to eBay, by the way. Fees, consignment fees, bidder fees, things of that nature, seller fees. But you can bring consignment stuff. And you're going to see in this video some pieces that Nick Antidormi custom painted just for the auction in a unique style that you probably wouldn't expect. And I have to be honest with you, I was curious what they would go for. They went for, I didn't stay for the whole auction, but every piece went for some of the highest prices of anything that bid up to the point I was there. So you never know what people are interested in. So if you have a talent restoring blow molds or changing them to something different, or other materials or other kind of display pieces, there is an audience out there for that stuff. So, all right. Let's play the high bidder video, and we'll see what some of our fellow alumni probably listen to this channel right now, how they got carried away at the auction. But they had fun, and they left with some great pieces, and we'll talk about them after I play the video. So let me get into the file here. I called this Bidders Bonanza. It's about 5 minutes long, but two things. I sprinkle in some in-between B-roll shots, if you will, and then I actually have the live bidding, so you get to hear how it works. Turn your volume up a little bit. I didn't have a microphone on the auctioneer, so I'm catching it in the distance. I tried to amplify it when I created the video, but turn it up a little bit if right now from when you're listening, so you can hear. Take some notes and then comment on me after the video, so we can have some things to talk about. What do you think about the process? Would you have done it? Do you think you would get caught up in it? How do you feel about your friends on here who won some great pieces? Do you think they're crazy? Do you think they're lucky? Do you think they're just awesome blow mold bonanza people? It's all cool. So here we go. Let's watch the Bidders Bonanza. Enjoy.
40 here now, 45. Anywhere at 45, when you win 45, 45 for the pair. 45 when you bid. Sold, $40 bidder number 182. So 35 here, 40 now, 45. 45 now, 50 now, 55. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here now, 60 now, 65. 65 when you've been 65, when you've been 65, last call. Sold, $60, bidder number 409. $100 to get them off. 100 I have here now, 110. 110, 120, 120, 120, 120. You're my 110 here now, 120, 130. 130, 140, 140, 140, 150, 150, 160, 170, 180, 180, 180 would have been. 180 now, 190, now 200. 200 would have been 200, would have been 200 now, 210. 210 now, 220. 220 now, 230, 230 now, 240, 240 would have been. 240, 250, 250 now, 260. 260, 260 now, 270 now, 280, 290 now, 300 now, 310. 310 would have been 310, would have been 310, 310 back in now, 320. 320 now, 320, 320, 320 would have been back in 330. 330, 330, 330, 330, 330, last call. Sold, $320, bidder number 408. Give her a round of applause. How about $100 to go? 100 I have on the 110, 120, 130, 140, 140, 150, 160. You're my 150 here looking for 160, 170 now, 180, 180. 180, 190, 190 now, 200, 210, 220, 230 now, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 280 now, 280, 280, 280, back in now, 290, 290, would have been 290, would have been 290, 290, 290, 290 now, 300, 300 now, 310, 310 would have been 310, 310 when you bid, sold. For 55, anywhere at 55 for choice. Anywhere at 55 for choice on the Easter bunnies. 55, 55 here now, 60. Anywhere at 50, 60 would have been 60, 60, 60, 60 here now, 65. 65 now, 70 now, 75. 75 would have been 75, would have been 75, would have been. Sold, $70 for 194. 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. 110 now, 120, sir. 120, 120, 130, 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, here now, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 220 would have been. Sold, $210, 207, take comment. The Babushka.
Take my cash. Or take Brandon's cash. Or some of the other people's cash. Take their cash. They were happy to spend their cash. That was fun. That's why they went there. They buy something. And I'll talk about it in a minute. I did buy something. I didn't bid on anything, but I bought something. But really fun. I gave you a couple examples of, at the beginning, more of the basic nativities. They went for $40 for a set. There was one set that went for $5 for one of the marble nativities, which is a steal. And then I showed Nick's custom pieces. If you weren't familiar with them, they were the Dickens Village choir people or carolers, and then the Easter bunnies that he painted into a Halloween theme. He also did a ghost, which actually sold for the most, and I didn't video that one. And I actually told Nick, and he's sitting there in the row, if you don't know what he looks like, but he's sitting there, and I said to Nick, I said, great job on those pieces. I said, your ghost probably won't go that high, but I'm sure you'll get something. And it wound up being the highest bidder. And it's not because it wasn't good. It just kind of was plain. It's a basic Kmart mold back in the day, Kmart ghost mold. Anyway, awesome. You never know what people are looking for. And here's the other thing I found interesting. You would think there'd be a bunch of guys there bidding. Almost all the high bidders, with the exception of Brandon, they were female. There was somebody in front of us that probably, by the end of the day, she probably spent thousands of dollars on pieces, and it wasn't an issue. It's something she wanted, including the custom pieces. So kind of fun how it works. I wish I could do the, hey, 50, 50, 50, give me 50, give me 60, you want 70. Can't do it. So we'll leave it up to the professionals because you never know. Maybe one day we'll have to sell our collections. Hopefully not, but they could help out. So that was fun. Let me share a couple pictures. So Brandon looked happy when he won. And Brandon's mom, Lori, took this picture. He was happy when he saw me. He was happy when he won. I wonder if he was still happy when he realized what he did. So he was. There's Brandon after he won. If you're not familiar, this is a European blow mold. Harder to find. They have to come from overseas. So they were really popular. And I know in last year's auction, there was a ton of them and they all went for big bucks, but he got that one. I also didn't show he won another one. This nice European snowman here. I'm sure there's some snowman collectors were jealous. And then that last one you saw on the video, the Snow Lady, the Union Products, Babushka, as she's known as sometimes. I had one of those, and I shared this story with Brandon in some messaging. I said, yeah, I had one. I teased him. I said, you might have overbid for that. You could probably find it for a better price, but you're happy. And he was happy. But I had one of those, and I literally picked it up one year to display it, and it fell into thousands of pieces. It was so brittle, and I never replaced it yet. So it's one of my favorite molds. Congratulations to Brandon for having it. But yeah, you can get whatever you want there. You can get whatever you want there. And then finally, I said I didn't bid on anything, but I did get something. And that's this piece. If you're not familiar with it, this is an exclusive that Jones Auction House put out. This is a remake of an Empire tabletop haunted house. And when I say remake, it's not just a remake that somebody made up and made a new form. It's from the original mold. So Jones Auction House does that. Matter of fact, I'll show you a video in a second. But here's the original mold. And it's very deceiving at what the older molds were. That mold is no more than, just say, 24 inches tall and a foot wide. I tried to pick it up and move it. You can't. It must weigh several hundred pounds. Just imagine what a mold for like a life-size Santa or the big train or Santa's sled must weigh. They're huge. They're huge. And unfortunately, a lot of those, when the manufacturer went out of business several years ago, a scrapper came in and beat everybody to them and got a lot of the molds, and I think they melted them down. But a few were saved and a few might get remade. So cool stuff. But hey, let me show you, since we're here together spending time, let me show you what I bought. So here it is. I purposely did not open it yet because I wanted to do an unboxing with you. I wanted to share this fun with my audience. And it came in this nice individual box, labeled made in the USA from the original mold, like I shared with you. And let's open it up and see what it looks like. So I just happen to have something to open it with. And it just so happens to be my Elf cotton-headed Ninny Nuggins bottle opener, and it's pointy on the end. So let's see if it works. If not, I have a knife here because I don't think it's going to work. No, it's not sharp enough. See, who's a cotton-headed Ninny Nuggins? Me, because I thought it was sharp enough. But be careful doing this. It is a Halloween mold, but we don't want to make this scary like Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees style or Saw, even worse. or the Terrifier. You see any of those? Crazy. Anyway, all right, it's open. Good night, Cottonhead and any nuggins. You're going back in. Maybe you'll open a beer later. Box. Ooh, it's like Christmas morning in July. There it is. Blowmold Glory. And what's really cool about this piece is to differentiate it from the orange one and the green one, which the green one's really hard to find or harder. They made this red. So keep it in the spirit of a Halloween color. But let me take it out. Ooh, nothing better than unveiling a new blow mold. Look at that. And they even give you a nice cord set. They skimped on a bulb though. I wish, come on. It was $35. If you're looking at the new blow molds, that's what they're costing. They're going to cost more this year because of the tariffs. So you can still get these from Jones Auction House website. Just go on Facebook and Google Jones Auction House, Pennsylvania. They still have a bunch of these left. And I would get them if you could. It is a quality mold. It's made out of the original mold. It's a different color. The accent paint is great. And I don't know why I didn't buy it before. I was holding off on it, but I'm glad I got it now. Oh, wait, I lied. They did give me bulbs. 2 of them. They're not LED, though. That's okay. I still have a lot of C7 bulbs in my collection. So the other thing I'll point out while I'm boxing this back up, again, go to the Jones Auction House site. I'm not getting commission on any of this. I just want to see you have a cool blow mold, and it's a reasonable price. $34.99 for something made from the original mold. Do it. Do it. Just do it. What I was going to say is Brandon bought one of these too, and I keep bringing Brandon up. I think he bid on his. I'm not sure, or he paid his fee. You could get one that came with a certificate of authenticity for a few more dollars. I don't know how much is a few more, or maybe they gave one to Brandon because he was a good customer. Again, check it out. Let them take your cash, and it's cool. Here, let me play you a quick video of the mold so you can see it walk around. This is only 30 seconds long. Just check this out, and it was neat to see. It was neat to see. Now, there's no music with this video, but yeah, you could see it's in 2 pieces. It bolts together. They have it sitting in the office where you go and check in. I'm glad they saved this piece of history. They had some on display there in that case there. And then they also had a wall of them. And I'm guessing they had more in the back. I don't know how many they have left, so they've been selling them for a while. I'd jump on it again, Jones Auction House. So any comments so far? Let's check on comments, because then I have another cool announcement from the Jones Auction House, and it is blow mold related. And I saw some chatter about this on some of the forums, but I don't know if anybody got the official news of it. And it was made public there, so I'm going to share it here for all of you. But let's check on the comments here real quick. There's a couple in here, and if you have some more, get them in, because we're getting close to the end of the videos. And we're going to wrap this up here shortly. But got a fellow collector locally in here, Frank Valenti. He joined us. Did I get a close-up of the carolers and have these special pieces? I didn't go around and take pictures of individual pieces. You catch some of the Polaron life-size choir people there, which I didn't stay long enough to see what they went for. I can tell you the swinging Polaron Santa with the lantern, which I happen to have and restored it. And I also have the version that goes with the half body on the chimney. Believe it or not, this might still sound like a lot of money. It only went for $900. It needed to be refurbished, but those things are going for $1,200, $1,500, sometimes $1,800. So somebody got a pretty good deal there. They didn't have the snowman, but I don't know what the Polaron choir people went for. And they also had in the back, if you caught in the video, they had some of the Empire choir children, the 30-inch ones, where I'm seeing on my Light Fight episode taking the heads off and showing Tanya Nyack. Good question, though, Frank. I'm glad you joined the video. Hey, here's a fun story. I don't know if Frank remembers this. So around the corner from me is a Lowe's warehouse store. And during COVID, when they were rolling out some of the new Jemmy blow molds for Halloween, I ran into Frank and we were looking for the same piece. It was a vampire. I'm trying to remember which one it was, but it was one of the vampire molds. And he's like, "Which one are you here for?" And we don't think we knew each other at that time, but we kind of put two and two together, running into fellow collectors before the stuff's being put out on the floor and you're trying to pull it off the shelf or get it off the pallets. That's where I ran into Frank. I don't know if you remember that, but it was over in Hatfield, Frank. Another new viewer, Susan. Looks fun. She's not a blowmold gal, but she would have left there broke. Like I said, there were a lot of female bidders there that were really racking up the cash for the auction house. So I think they got good buys, but I was just surprised because it is usually the opposite where you're being, the husband wants to spend the money and the wife's like, no, you don't need any more blow molds. So thank you for joining, Susan. Monty says it looks like fun. It was just fun. Like I said, just hanging out there was really good time, really good time. Nick's chiming in on the haunted house blow mold that they were smart. Red, because orange fades. I've had some red stuff fade too, but maybe not as much. There are a few other just solid red blow molds out there. Some of them go back to the 70s, 80s, 90s. But yeah, good observation. And I'm just reminding myself, just no more blow molds in our room. Yeah, there are no blow molds in our bedroom. He can join us tonight. We'll use him as a nightlight. All right. Now we're getting back into the kiss cam territory again there. Any other comments, everybody? All right. I'll just give you a heads up of what's left. Not much left. A few more minutes. I do have one more video. So thank you for the comments. If you have more, please send them in. I want to get them answered before we're running out of time here. So if you don't get them in, they're not going to get answered. Although I do try to go back after the show, and if I see comments, I try to reply to them. So if I miss you, I'll try to get you. And if you did have a comment, and I happen to miss you, I'm really sorry. Maybe type it in again or share it. But so I shared the exclusive haunted house that Jones did, but Jones made another, besides the auction, they made another exciting announcement, and they made some chatter in some of the blow mold forums on Facebook. But if you were not aware, there was an exclusive heads up and announcement of another new blow mold coming from the Jones auction house. They have the mold, they acquired it, and they're making it. And they're not only making it in one color, they're making it in 4 colors. You want to know what it is? Do you? Tell me in the comments. No, I do want to hear, but I'll show you what it is. And some of you may have knew part of this story, but when it was posted on the forums, they didn't say the name of where it was coming from because they were afraid the post would get taken down. But many of you might have these in your collections already. And now if you don't, you can get one made from the original mold, just like the haunted house. The 9-inch blinky flatback that you can hang in your window or sit somewhere thin because it's small. This is one of the originals I have in my collection with the original box. I don't know if they're going to have an original box like this, but this is the pumpkin. If you're not familiar, there's another friend and lover of blow molds, and not only lover of blow molds, she's had a bunch of blow molds made. Richard Gierlich, who lives in Florida, he owns Richard's Holiday Shop. If you want to Google that or look for it on Facebook, he's huge in Blow Mold Nation, one of the other forums that I'm part of and that I contribute to. He has a lot of the blinky products, and he had the skull, which, believe it or not, I didn't buy any from him, and I don't know if he has any left. I actually do not have the skull. The skull's really cool, but Jones Auction House announced they are making this, and you get a chance to own it. If you're not familiar with what it looks like, here, I'll open it up. It's already open, but you can see this one's still nice and clean. I've never displayed it. The cord's in the box, original cord. It has the snap things. I like the butterflies now, but yeah, there it is. 9 inches. You can see it's flat. I was talking to the gentleman, I forget his name. He told me all about it. Plus, they announced it, and I'm going to show you the video where they announce it. You have to turn your volume up. But that's it right here. And we got to make sure we put it back in the box so it can survive for another 30, 40, 50 years or however long. Sorry about the noise. It's around. Yeah, like it says on the box. Jack-o'-lite. Just plug it in. So let me show you a quick video. It's only 40 seconds. I'm going to show you where they announced it in the very beginning. You got to listen. and then I'll just show you what each color looks like here. Check it out. Let me know if you have any comments. Let me know what you think. Are you going to buy it when it comes out on their website? Tell me. Because after this, we're just going to have a check-in, and then we're going to close things out. We're going to say goodbye till next time. So here we go. Check this out.
Be able to buy, you can buy any color you want, or you're going to be able to get a discount if you buy the whole set. And you don't have a ton of them, so when they're down, they're down. The other thing is,
oh man, take my cash. Take my cash. All 4 colors are going to be available. That's the one thing. Blinky didn't make them in the other colors, at least to my knowledge. They only made them in orange. So you can get white, green, purple, and orange, green, white, purple. What did I miss? Green, purple, white, and orange. There you go. See, I'm so excited I forgot. Really cool. I don't know when they'll officially show them on their site for purchase. They didn't have them there for purchase yet, but if you go back and watch this video later, you can see when I roll by, all 4 are on the table. You can pause the video and check it out, or you can watch the section here where I just showed it. So what do you think of the mold? Would you buy it? I think I would. Even though I have an original, I'd like to have the other colors. I think it'd be cool. All right. We are coming to the end, folks. I'll give you another minute or two for final comments. While I'm doing that, just to recap, if you missed my Mini at Sea episode last week, where Kim and I went to Alaska on a cruise ship with 40 other Christmas people that do displays, anything from a pixel show to a traditional show and everything in between, we were on there. We were hanging out. We were seeing sights around Alaska. We were seeing bears and whales and riding on trains and sitting in hot tubs on a cruise ship and indulging in a soda. And we had a good time. You can go on one of those 2, watch the video. Again, I had some internet issues last week. I cleaned that video up as best I could, and you can check it out on my page. Oh, while we're waiting for comments, let's do that real quick. I said I was going to do it. If you're not familiar with my page on YouTube, just let me get to it. I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to share this. This is my YouTube channel, The Librarian. How do you like that handsome-looking guy? At least I think so. From what I heard, Kimberly Michael thinks so too. But I have different videos here, so you can see my last episodes. Here was the Mini at Sea remastered version. You can see it's in the title. If you missed my other episode where I had the owner of the red car that delivered our Light Fight trophy, came back and did an exclusive interview with me. He brought the car, and we went through the car. Here's Nick. I went up to his display last year. You can check it out if you've never seen it. I highly recommend taking a look at it. I mentioned Cole from one of my blow mold sites. There I am. I'm taking the choir head off his blow mold choir person when I was there. What else do we got here? Oh, Peckville Christmas House, that Matthew Harhut. When I visited him, when you want to see a video with a sea of blow molds, almost 4,000 of them, check it out. That's on there. And then here's when I visited Brandon Gress's house. Has a great collection. So go to the page. This one will, again, when I end this other one, this will be available to watch over, and check out the other 5 episodes of The Librarian. You might have to go under the live tab, just a tip. So there's where you can see all the lives so far. And then I have some other videos in there, a couple clips from when we were on Light Fight, some miscellaneous videos, and I will add more. I will be visiting more sites this year. There's some recaps of the Florida Mega Mini as well. So check that out. All right. Now I got to get back to, here we go. First time I ever shared a live screen. It's kind of weird. It was on the software on the backside. So check those out. Follow me, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Oh, and then again, just a reminder, I'm going to the Ohio Mini this weekend. My plans are, after that, is to compile everything and probably in about 2 weeks or so, I'll have a follow-up episode. So you might not see me for a little bit unless I do a live or something from Ohio. That might happen. And then finally, I mentioned it on the last episode. I am working on a special interview with somebody high up from the Great Christmas Light Fight. So working out the details on that. I was hoping to get it in Christmas in July. Probably not going to make it. It'll probably be in August, but I'll let you know what it is when it comes up, and I hope you can join it. So I'm going to check in on final comments, and then I'm going to hit the outro video. Let me know what you thought. If you didn't leave a comment afterwards so that anybody looking at the video can see what they missed. And let's just see if we have anything else. I don't see any other comments. So either everybody's left or not. I actually show people watching. I can see who's watching, not necessarily your name, but I know who's watching. I know who's liked it. I need more likes. Come on, give me a thumbs up, thumbs up. Oh, we do got a comment here. Devin joined us. Devin is a fellow collector. And Devin's also doing some lives this week as he celebrates Devin Lights up in the New England area. I think it's 10-year anniversary. Go check out his page. Look for Devin Lights, looking for Devin Blanchard. And he has a bunch of lives coming up. If you're missing some of the Christmas on Crestline content, he shared it today, so I think I'll share it here. This Saturday, I believe, Devin's interviewing Charlie Byers from Christmas on Crestline, who's been absent because of a loss in his family. So hopefully that happens. Join in, listen to Devin, hear Charlie if you haven't heard him in a while, and then check out Christmas on Crestline. Frank did chime in. You're correct. We did run. It was the Mickey and Minnie Vampire Blowmolds. That's right. We met each other. We got what we wanted. We left the rest for everybody else. Pallet climbing in the stores. Pre-Christmas and Halloween. So maybe I'll run into you again this year. There's still a couple I'm looking for this year, even though I curved back, but not many. Monty, I'll see you next weekend as well. And looking forward to finally meeting you. You have safe travels as well. I don't know how far you have to go. I like this next comment. Ray thinks they should make a custom blow mold of me. What do you think? Pose like this. I think that'd be a seller. And it'd be the brightest blow mold ever because it has to live up to the light fight. Maybe I can make a mold. All right. Did I miss anything else? I think we're good. So I really appreciate everybody joining in tonight. I'm going to end the stream. Again, share it, like it, comment, and stay tuned for when I notify you and give you a heads up when the next episode will come. In the interim, thank you for hanging out at the library. I'm Brian Michael, your great Christmas light fight resource and friend of everything Christmas. So enjoy your evening. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas in July, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Librarian.